Welcome everybody to the late night after dark version of P with P. Roll the ditty. Again, hello everyone. Welcome back. I hope everyone's staying safe, staying healthy, and all that sort of stuff. This week, I want to show you just a short little passage from Psalm 19. We're going to be reading in verses 11 through 14, but I advise either pause this video right now and go read it, or you can read it afterwards, but read Psalm 19, 7 through 10. I can't do it just for sake of time. It's kind of lengthy, and I want to get straight into the goods of the last part of that chapter. So I encourage you to go ahead and read that either now, take a break, or afterwards. But to sum up sort of what happens in verse 7 through 10, David is magnifying God's character and how his character is supposed to change the believer. I encourage you to read that, like I said, but I'm going to go ahead and jump in and read 11 through 14, which is our passage today. I feel like I'm speaking really quickly, and that doesn't happen often. Let me read. So chapter 19, verses 11 through 14. Here he's going to say, moreover, by them. When he refers to them, he's referring to God's law. He just spoke about that previously, but I didn't have time to read it. So when it says them in this first verse, it's referring to God's law. So here we go. Verse 11. Moreover, by them is your servant warned. In keeping them, there is a great reward. Who can discern his errors? Declare me innocent from hidden faults. Keep back your servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then I shall be blameless and innocent of great transgression. Finally, verse 14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. So basically here, in these verses we just read, is the prayer of a desperate servant. In verse 13, he says, keep back your servant also from presumptuous sins, and let them not have dominion over me. That reminds me a lot of the Lord's Prayer and how Jesus, our example, shows us how to pray. So the Lord's Prayer is found in Matthew 6:13, and it says, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And then you see David here pray, keep back your servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. I feel like it's a very similar prayer. And if Jesus prays like this, then we know we should pray like that because Jesus is our ultimate example, right? The fact that the same kind of prayer is found in the Psalms, where David, the man after God's own heart, prayed this way, it shows the essentiality of this prayer in the believer's life. This is a prayer that we need to add to our daily routine, but, obviously not routine. I hate referring to Jesus stuff as routine. I also hate referring to it as Jesus stuff, so I'm sorry. But this needs to be part of our daily life, a prayer for deliverance from temptation. And like he says here, let it not have dominion over me. Keep back your servant from presumptuous sins. And finally, in verse 14, let me read that for you guys. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. This is the desire of the children of the God who is written about? Yeah, written about in verses 7 through 10. The child of the God that is described here desires to be found acceptable in everything we say and do and think and act. It's important for us to please God. That should be the desire of our hearts. So my challenge today is let's be bold with our prayers. Let's step outside of the normal everyday. God bless this food. Keep me safe. That sort of stuff. Let's step to the next level of God. Do not lead me into temptation. Keep me from presumptuous sins. Let us strive to be acceptable in our speech and our quiet time. We should aim to please God with all we do, because like it says here in the end, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. He is our rock and our redeemer, and we should seek to please Him with everything we've got. So that's my challenge for you today, guys. Thank you for joining me. I know it's a late one. I'll try to do better. But yeah, thanks, guys. Good night.